So I'm going to take the carburetor off this thing and clean it. There's 2 bolts here. This is the breather or air cleaner, whatever you want to call it. And then there's 2 bolts back here that I can get to once I get this out of my way. And that's a, what is that there? That says, it says 5/16. It's probably a metric, but I think I can still get it off of there. Let's see. See if I can. That one's a 3/8, but I think it's also a 10 millimeter. I'll take these ones off. I'm going to want to take this gas line off, and I don't know if there's enough gas where I can just turn this up, or if I'm going to have to stick a bolt in it. But we'll find out here in about a second or two. This has one of those little squeeze clamps on the gas line. Just raise that right up. See how I did that? That clamp was here, and I just tightened it. That came out up to there. And I should be able to pull that off, and I'm going to try just sticking that up in the air like this, and that might be enough to keep it from leaking on me. Yep. And there's a little wire right here. This goes to the governor. That wire will need to come off, but what I'll do is once I pull this off, I can turn this at an angle so I can get that wire out of that hole right there. See how that wire sits right there, and if I get this at an angle, well, I can scooch that off. Sometimes I take my Leatherman and scooch that up out of that hole, kind of like this. So now all I got to do is take this thing apart, clean it out, and blow carburetor cleaner in all the holes and blow them out. I can tell by the golden color of the gas that's running out of that it's old bad gas. You can usually smell it too. It smells like turpentine. And a lot of times when you take this bottom part off, you can see all kind of dirt down in that. But what I'll do is I'll take that off and I'll clean it out, but I'll also blow every place I can find a hole in this carburetor where I can try to get something. I'll take my carburetor cleaner, and it'll have a little red tube, and I'll stick the red tube in all these holes and blow all the gas out of that. So let's see if we can get this thing off. Well, I may not need to get it off. Just leave it just like that, I guess, and I'll start out by taking that off down there. It looks like about a 9/16. I'm going to cut y'all off again while I do this. Dry my hands, get the gas off of them before I handle the camera. It might not be good for it. So you can probably see what's in the bottom of that. It looks like rust, mud, or something. And this thing has a float here. And of course, where there's a float, there's going to be a passageway for gas and stuff to pass through. So if this thing's been full of dirt, then that's probably full of dirt. So what I'll do is I'll get my little spray cleaner out, and I'll wash this out, and I'll wash that thing. I'll squirt some carburetor cleaner in every hole I can find in it, and then we'll put it back together and put it back on there and see if she crank. Now see, I was talking about squirting this in all the little holes. There's a little tiny hole right on the side of that, right there. So that's going to try to give you an example. When I squirt the carburetor cleaner into this hole, it shoots out that hole. That's usually a pretty good way to tell whether you've got something cleaned out or not, is when you find a little hole. And by the way, this is the float, and this is the needle valve, and this is the pin that holds that float in place. And that needle valve goes down into here, so I'm going to want to clean that out. And what should happen is when I squirt fuel into that, it should squirt out the fuel hole, which is this one on the side. And any of these other holes I'll also blow out, and you can see there's a few of them around. Maybe I can sit you over here on this little table. And being a man with no one to hold the camera for me, we just have to do the best we can here. But what should happen when I squirt this in here is it should shoot out of there, like that. See that coming out right down there? And it should work the other way too, like when I put it here and shoot it. See how it comes out right there? So, every place you can find a hole, stick that in there and squirt it. That should do it. Now I'm going to set this back over here with that little needle valve. By the way, I always like to clean off that little needle valve too. See how that's covered in black stuff there? That's not good. See, that needs to be clean. If it's not, it won't allow gas to pass through this when it lifts up. So that goes on to that right there. And then this little pin goes through the end of that and hinges that down. Like this right here. Now that's ready to go back on there. Sometimes I'll take an air compressor and blow these out, but I think these look pretty good so far. I think I can go with that. This thing was on here super tight, by the way, which it shouldn't be. It don't need to be that tight. I had to put the carburetor in a vise and swing on the end of a wrench to get that to come loose. This is a 13mm thing in the bottom there. Just snug it up. Don't feel like you have to, make it arm breaking tight. And then this has a gasket that goes here. I want to clean that up. Now you want to put this, remember I talked about this little wire here. It goes to the governor and works the throttle. And put that back on there before you bolt the carburetor down, because you have to twist that at a kind of angle to get that to go in that hole. When I was a young fella and I moved up to Maine, I married a woman whose uncle ran a little lawnmower shop, and he used to get free lawnmowers and fix them up and sell them, and he was blind. He was totally blind, couldn't see a thing. And he'd work on them lawnmowers by feel. And of course, the lawnmower would be sitting up on a table running with a blade on it, and that blade would be spinning under there, and he'd be rubbing his hands all over that motor and stuff. And I used to think, man, I don't know how this guy does this without cutting his fingers off. But he did. He kept fixing lawnmowers till he got too old to go anymore. I used to go over and help him out because I was younger and more subtle, and I think at that point I didn't have a job up there yet. So I think he probably handed me a few dollars every so often, you know, because he knew I didn't have a job back then. Nice guy, but I learned a lot from working with him. Tell you, if you ever get a chance to work with somebody like that knows about this stuff, you can learn. You can learn quite a lot pretty quick, you know. Just by doing it, it's a good way to learn. All right, so that's on there, and then I'm going to put this like this and line up these bolts here into those holes there. And we'll put that back on there. These don't need to be real tight now because you're working on some pretty lightweight aluminum here that could you could damage it pretty easy. So I'm going to leave this off, but this hose goes into the back of this thing, which is your there's your air cleaner. Actually, it may go in right there. I think it does. Okay, let's do that. Put it right there. Right into the back of that. There you go. What that does is it sucks the fumes out of the motor. That's like you know, those things on a car that recirculates the fumes out of the engine case, like a PVC valve, something like that. Now this is the air cleaner, and I'm going to blow that out with an air compressor. I won't put that on when I first go to crank it because I don't have this open so I can squirt a little ether inside there. So I'm going to cut y'all off while I blow this out. And we'll come back and hook a jumper cable to a big battery and see if we can get it to crank. So I'm going to squirt a shot of ether in the carburetor, and then we'll see if we can get this thing to crank. Notice how that slowed down? That just tells me that this needs a new breather. This thing is not good enough.